Welcome. Thanks so much for joining me, Healing Profits Academy. Today is Tuesday, and I just noticed President Trump and can't compete with that. But I did want to schedule my live for 4 o'clock Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific time every Tuesday, running a tad behind schedule. I just finished doing my podcast, which is Beautiful You. If you're into podcasts, you can find me on Spotify, iTunes. Beautiful You with Becca Starr. I talk to heart centered entrepreneurs, massage therapists, spa owners. I give you lots of tips to have a mindset makeover and master your marketing. That is what we usually talk about. Healing your life helps you heal others. And today we're going to talk about the 3 things to know when you are starting your business. So if you're in that phase, maybe you're thinking about starting your business or you really are figuring out what's going on because your business isn't working. These 3 things are what I wish I knew when I started my business. So I started my business about 20 years ago. It was a spa. That was my first business, I should say. So my very first business that I opened was about 20 years ago. It was a spa in a small town in Connecticut and did lots of things not the right way. And thankfully, learning from experiences and able to um, pivot is what the new modern term is for what we do to be adaptable as business owners and change with the times. So, what used to work years ago does not work. If you are a business owner, now there are 2 ways you could get really stuck. If you're a business owner, you could get stuck on having too many ideas and not knowing which idea or a couple ideas that are going to be the best for you. And you don't take any action because you're overwhelmed. And then you also might be a business owner, and some of the massage therapists and spa owners I talk to actually don't know what to do. So you either have too many ideas or you don't have any really good ideas that you think would even be worth taking any steps or actions on. And that's okay. Both of these places are fine, but you're stuck, which is not fine. And one of the things that can happen is it's this term I've heard called throwing spaghetti against the wall. And if you can imagine, this is spaghetti marketing. You have a handful of spaghetti and you just throw it against the wall and you hope something sticks. So it gives you the visual of what you might end up doing. And that's what I want you to not do. And I want you to be super intentional with how you market your business and these 3 things, especially when you're starting and knowing this is going to help me get the kind of results that I want. And so this requires intentionality. So you um, really will be taking steps. I'm going to give you super simple steps, but they might be harder for you because they're not so black and white. And I'm going to just keep looking at my notes because I don't want to miss some of the things that I know are important to share with you. And they're going to end up helping you tremendously when I give you these 3 tips to know, oh, that's what she means by this or that. And they're not, there's some tangibles and intangibles when it comes to selling and marketing and promoting your business. Now you could have a great business. So 3 things I wish I knew when I started my business aren't, this isn't going to be a lot of tangibles. So it's not like where you should find your location or how much rent you should pay or if you should be on Facebook or Instagram. It's not specific like that. I will give you very specific 3 tips that you're going to have to get creative with once I share them with you. So I just don't want you to go in circles. Now, it's definitely not going to be enough to do what other people are doing. That's not your business. Only you know your business. And again, well, this is what the massage therapist down the street's doing. This is what these 3 spas look like they're doing. And maybe it's all a couple different things. Again, think of the spaghetti, throw it against the wall, hope something sticks. And that's how you do your marketing. it ain't going to work. It's not going to hold, and it's not what's best for you and your business. And that's what's going to work. And you have to figure out what that is. But there are absolutes that you can work from. So now, traditional marketing, I don't recommend. And what I mean by traditional marketing is running ads or using coupon services. And there's nothing wrong with doing Facebook ads or using Groupon. And if you've done this work that I share with you here first, then you can grow into that because you'll have more ideas about what actually really works and what your clients need to hear from you and your business in order to come in. And that's what I want you to figure out as you're starting your business before you start throwing money at ads, getting burnt out, going bankrupt, and just really just wasting valuable time, energy, money. That's what I did at first. And I don't recommend doing ads or doing the coupon services like Groupon and all of that. Not at the beginning. And here is why. If you do all of that stuff, you're wasting your money, your time. And for me, what happened when I opened up my spa was I did those things. And if you imagine 20 years ago, we didn't have Facebook ads, we didn't have Groupon 20 years ago, but we had newspaper ads and we had the Valpak, and we still have Valpak. But I put money into the paid advertising and then also into print materials. A lot of money that I didn't have all of that money. I just did what I thought I was supposed to do because after massage school, I continued to educate myself on how to market a massage business specifically. And this is what it said to do. So that's what I did. And after doing that for months and realizing it wasn't working, and I'll tell you how I knew it wasn't working, I hit a wall and I realized there were some clients I was getting that were these dream clients. And if I could multiply them, like these were the clients that bought packages of 10 massages and told all their friends about me. And so their friends would come in or their family and they would be great clients compared to these other clients that were coming in and they didn't want to pay my full price. So they weren't rebooking. Maybe they saw a newspaper ad and they came in with a coupon. And also, as a massage therapist, I was getting weirdos. And sorry, everybody needs a massage. But when you want more than a massage, that's where you fall into that category. And I hated that. Like I went to school for 2,000 hours. That's something I've heard other massage therapists say. When you care about helping other people and doing massage therapy, it is discouraging when that happens. And it's something that, it's just sometimes unfortunately part of the business. But what if you could create a business that was actually only getting you those quality clients? And that's what I wanted to do, was multiply those dream clients. So how do I get more of them? So after all of the months of spending money and having all these appointments, so that's valuable time and energy, and getting really frustrated because it didn't seem like it was working. And it wasn't even, not that it wasn't working. It was like, so this is my new career. This is my business, that like this dream business. It wasn't right for me. And I felt frustrated and I really hit a wall. And what happened was probably one of the best things, because since this wall that I hit, and I made some real shifts in my perspective on what the heck I had to do as a business owner. And I changed. It helped me in that small town in Connecticut. And then when I went out to California and Los Angeles, starting over completely again, it was these things that I'm about to tell you that actually changed everything. So tip number 1, you ready? Wait for it. Tip number 1 is focus on building relationships. Now, this means all of the people, this is what it meant for me, and this is how I figured it out. All of the people that were coming in that were these dream clients that I loved, and they loved me, and they were happy. They felt that they were getting a deal with my rate, What happened was they were all because of one person. So this has continued for the last 20 years, ever since I started to realize, oh my gosh, it's all about relationships because it's when I met that person, we had that conversation and it was a special conversation. It just, there was some, energy. And this is how I can trace back every single door that has opened, opportunity, partnership, anything that has happened has all come from a relationship with one person. So I'm going to talk more about that one person thing in tip number 2. So, really, practically speaking, what building relationships looks like as a business owner is to first brainstorm, write down every single person, company, organization, group, every one in your community that you think could benefit from working with you. Just brainstorm, write down every single person or company, organization that comes to mind. And you may not understand why this or how this could help you grow your business yet. But for me, when I realized, oh my gosh, it all came from this one relationship, this is like what has happened. That's when I made an absolute conscious decision to stop paying for advertising. I w- just stopped my the 2 newspapers that I was running ads in. I stopped doing that, saved me hundreds of dollars every month, if not more than hundreds. And it gave me like this chance to just like again pivot, but just take a look at who I knew and from there, what happened was I worked with the local movie theater. A few of the insurance companies we are or were, my spa was in the Hartford, Connecticut area. There's a lot of insurance companies there with a neighboring massage therapist and with some of my current clients. So that's practically speaking how it ended up looking for me. Now, I've spoke with other massage therapists and spa owners. One, in particular comes to mind, and she's in Atlanta. And some of the people that she ended up building relationships with, and somebody in Texas. Can't remember where she is from, but she had some great ideas with the some of the churches and church groups, and she did infant massage. And so that was how we were speaking with each other in our session. And um she had, when I gave her that suggestion to write down everybody she knew, and she ever came back to me, I tell you, it was just such an amazing list, and she was in such a rich area, but I think it's in how you look at it, what you do, what your business offers, and who you can help also. So there's like a couple things. That's why I say only you can help your business grow the most because you know what you're good at, what you offer to people, what your clients are going to, what your dream clients, let's say you're just starting out, you don't even have a client. What do you want your dream clients to say about you? That you helped relieve all of their pain, that you offered this great pain management therapy for them, that you helped them feel like they were on vacation and are in their stressed out world, that you helped them because they were pregnant. You do prenatal, you teach infant massage. So it really depends on what your skills are, who your client is, what is in your area. So your community. Take a look at everything and then start to make that list and reach out to those people in some way, and you know how to talk to people. And I say have courage at this because it's hard for me. Now, all of the times I have ever cold called or showed up or reached out to anybody, palms get sweaty, heart beats really fast. I don't know what I'm going to say. It always goes fine. It's way better than I imagine it to go, and I feel amazing after because I have to walk through a lot of stuff, a lot of fear before like actually having the conversation. And this happened in Connecticut and it happened in Los Angeles. And the amount of times, even following up and building the relationships and then still maintaining relationships, I always have to walk through those nerves, which is why I always say, have courage, just do it. And once you do it, you will get better. But also for me, it doesn't get much easier. It's not the easiest thing, but every single time it it is it's imperative for your successful future and like that security for your business to grow in a way that actually works for you. And it makes it a lot easier than throwing things against the wall. Like, I'm going to throw money at these ads. I'm going to work with Groupon. I'm not really sure like who's going to come in or what's going to happen. I'm just going to hope for the best. That is no way to actually start or grow your business. So, and I hope you understand that. For me, the biggest thing I can say is have a certain number, maybe that you reach out to every day. Maybe it's one person, maybe it's three people, maybe you do three people a week and then you do a couple Facebook posts, making an offer to help people 3 times a week. So, whatever it is that you have set up for your own um, plan, your marketing plan, building relationships should come in before Groupon or paid advertising, Facebook ads. So building relationships is an actual thing. It might not be some I think that tangible, the black and white is a lot easier to understand sometimes, because I know it might be easy if I said, so just contact Groupon and then just see what happens. Like, just do a couple of do that and just see where that leads. I would be a horrible coach if I was to tell you that, because without knowing who you actually want to come in and what your goals really are, there's no real intention behind that. And unless you're just fine with having people come in and then maybe not coming back. I mean, if you were to do that, I've heard some success stories with knowing that you're going to enroll everyone into a membership. That is one way it could work out. There are many ways it could work out, but if you're just starting, I don't think you're ready for that yet. So, build relationships. Put it first on your marketing plan. This tip number 2 is treat everyone as if they are a VIP. Now, I'm actually amazed at how many spas and massage therapists don't seem interested in my business. So whether I did pay for a Groupon or I called a massage therapist or a spa and tried to book a massage, plenty of times, super great quality customer service. So appreciate that. I just cannot believe how often I haven't booked anything during COVID. So I don't know if people are maybe changing, if pre-COVID they were, doing this. But as a massage therapist or a spa owner, a service provider, you need to be exceptional at customer service. Now, I get it. Like, if you're tired, maybe you have too many clients or something. I don't know. But you really need to be phenomenal at customer service. So if that means take a course and learn how to do better customer service, then do that. But every single person that calls on the phone, that comes through your doors, that you meet at the grocery store, if you begin to treat every person that you meet as the most important person in the world, that will ensure some good karma first and foremost. And where I don't think it gives you good karma, if you are in a service position, not treating everyone like the most important person in the world and making them feel warm and welcome. Like, thank you for calling. Like, they are it's amazing to me, and I don't know if it's a lack of training or it's because I had so much training prior to opening up my spa. and I had worked for Marriott. I had a lot of customer service experience and training, certifications, and all of that. So it just, to me, is one of the most valuable skills you could invest in is your customer service. The way that you make everyone feel is imperative to the success of your business. Now, you might be tired, annoyed, stressed out, worried about something, but you need to be phenomenal at customer service no matter what. No matter what's going on, you need to be able to set that aside and be great at being a blessing to people that you meet, especially if they're coming in or calling. Like, those are your people. Whether you want that person as a customer or not, just keep remembering, like, karma. Like, I want everyone to feel great that does choose to work with me. And so, and this isn't, it's not a totally an easy one for me, especially if I'm feeling stressed or tired or exhausted. It's not an easy one. But had somebody said, like, that is actually going to be the the key to your success. Like, that's actually what helps you build those relationships. And people you might not realize you've made an impression on will come back, and it will come back to you either through them or through somebody that they refer to you or in some way that you'll never know. Like, that to me is the juiciness of life. Like, it's all about people. It's all about our relationships and being a blessing to other people. Like, that really is what makes the world not just go round, but makes the world feel good when it's going round. And so just remember that, because nobody ever told me that. Like, I know how important it was working for Marriott and all of these things, but I don't know that anyone of my teachers in the amazing massage school that I went to, I don't know if any of them actually focused on customer service. That wasn't part of our training. And so that is a really big one. My call to action for you with these first two tips is, if these tips are resonating, you may or may not understand them or know what you're going to do next. But if they're hitting you like, yep, I don't know what this is going to look like, but I think she knows what she's talking about. I think these actually are good things to focus on if it makes sense to you in any way. I want to just tell you about a free training that I have. And this is the 4 steps of your marketing plan. They're the only 4 steps that you need. I talk about those 2 things in the webinar itself. It's less than an hour. It's well worth your time if what I'm saying so far makes sense to you. I'll put a link in these right below the video. And these 2 tips are part of what I like to call the anatomy of a super successful business. If you can imagine the tree the tree of life, you have to plant really good seeds. And then what the trunk is it's your throat chakra and how you show up to the world and how you're building those relationships, who you're building them with, and what you plant and what your intentions are the blossoms on the tree. So this webinar goes through the 4 steps, the 4 sections of your marketing plan, and helps you see what to start with, what it might not be working if you're not getting the results that you want, and kind of how to fine tune and change what you're doing to make it really get you better results, because all you need is those 4 steps. So if you are ready to write or rewrite your marketing plan, take that training. You'll get instant access. You'll get a replay to that training, and it will really help you, especially if these tips are making sense to you. So the third thing I want you to know when you start your business is to get clarity on your profits. There's a great book I highly recommend to all business owners now. It is called Profit First. You can get it on Amazon. I think I have a hardcover book and the Kindle version, and it's called Profit First. So don't spend money on things that you don't need to. That is the bottom line. I mean, if you're a business owner, you might think you need all these things. You probably do not. And rather than getting clear on all the things that you want to spend your money on, get super crystal clear on what your profits are. How are you going to make those profits? How are you going to get what you need without spending any more pennies, dimes, dollars than you actually need to? So, you might have a really big vision and you will get there. You'll get there, I promise. But I do not encourage getting loans or having to do more than you have already in your pockets to do. And if this means holding on to that full time job or that part time job and just doing what you can with what you have so that you start to see profits. Now, there are a lot of business owners I've talked to that can take a look at all their numbers and just show a profit on paper, but they don't know where that money is. And that's a problem. Like that is something that happens if you're not really clear on exactly what's making you money, how you're going to multiply that and double down on what actually works in your business and stop doing what maybe doesn't work or spending way too much money on things that you really don't need. You might think I need this, maybe a certain office space or a phone line, a business phone line, or you might need things that are not necessary. And whether you are first year in business or 10 years in business, don't do that. And it's just this thing I think that business owners can do. We think that we kind of need all these things and it's it's not necessary. And I have learned that profiting actually from what where I can save the most amount of money so that there's the profit is super clear. Like I know that money and I can see it. I can actually touch it if I wanted to, but I can actually see not just my numbers, not just my spending, like what I have to spend money on each month, but on profits. What programs make me the most? So now offering hands-on service, Healing Profits Academy and online courses, coaching calls, infant massage certification, so certain programs, then I know what the price point is, but also what it requires for me to like what gets me the amount of monthly income. I'm very clear on what that is and knowing like what my goals are and not just numbers. That's the big thing. Tip number 3 is to understand your profits more, not just what you have to spend your money on. It's just I think it's one of those things now when I started I knew I had a great agreement with the landlord, and it wasn't just going right in to it was a really large space in at the what the rent was that he wanted. He worked with me and he built up with me, and I think I started at $300 a month, and then I went to 400, 500, and I think we leveled out at 600 or 900, and this again was 20 years ago, and I cannot remember exactly what we I thought it was $600 though. If you can find somebody because you know as a massage therapist you don't have space to have a professional setting in your home, you're not going to do mobile maybe, but if you can, do that. If you want to start doing massage but you're wanting to see a profit before you actually start paying for an office space, that's a great way to do it. I have a whole article on doing mobile services and how to get started with that. But I encourage you to start with what you have and grow from there. It's also just a way to get those things that a solid entrepreneur, those skills, you'll develop those along the way. And and I think a lot of that maybe because that's my experience of just not getting the big loans or the any of the things like I actually sometimes it's so funny. I have fantasies sometimes about opening up this incredible huge spa. I don't think that's what I want to do, but the only way I think that I would be able to go from here to like what I want is maybe some big loan or something. And that's when I realized I don't know if that's what I'm meant to do, because I find that it's just better for building relationships, being able to do what I'm, able to do with, let's say, the relationships that I have right now with my husband, with my kids. I feel like there are ways to do every dream that we have through manifesting and through with what we have right now and growing from there. And not that there's anything wrong with getting a loan and, doing the things that maybe you already have planned to do. I'm just saying my way of the not getting loans is what I coach people on first, because there's a way to market your business and get your numbers up so that you can see results and then grow from there, expand. It's just that there's the thing about being your own, on your own as a massage therapist, and then needing to grow your team because you have now just filled your books and you're starting to get tired and you need to take care of yourself. And so now it's time to hire people to take clients for you. Like, that's amazing. Like, I that's the other, probably the reason I shared this one particular tip, is because I didn't start that way. I started with a spa. I finished massage therapy school. I had 3 treatment rooms and the office, and so it was just kind of going big right away. And I don't know how financially speaking that was, but even in California, having the mobile spa, I didn't have to pay for overhead with that. That's the way I like it. Like, what can I do to keep the overhead as low as possible and the profit as high as possible? And then Profit First, that book came out, and I'll tell you, that's like, he's speaking my language. Like, that's a book that I highly, highly recommend. So I just want to recap these 3 tips to share with you if you are a business owner and you're just starting out. These are the 3 things that I wish that I knew. Focus on building relationships. This is going to help you grow exponentially. Tip number 2 is to treat every person that you meet as a VIP. Be a blessing to everyone that you meet, and you don't know how that comes back to you. And so it's just really important to grow your business with that also being a part of how you approach, now that you're a business owner, how you treat others and how you see sparks in relationships happening, whether or not you see it turn into something in the moment or not. Walk into every situation asking, how can I be a blessing here? And tip number 3 is to get clear on your profit, not just your numbers. Read Profit First for more on this subject. So if you want more guidance, if you're on my email list, you saw that I'm offering complimentary strategy calls. And that is something that you can find if you go to beccastar.com. You can book a strategy call if you're interested in figuring out how to use these things and walk away with a great plan. I can offer you our coaching program. That's one way to see if we're a good fit to work together, or you can get directed to resources that will help you with where you're at. And next week, I want to talk about how to turn your pain into purpose. And this episode isn't one that you're going to want to miss, because it will help you look at every problem differently. And whether that's childhood stuff or something that happened last week, how to change and shift your perspective on things like that so that it helps you help others and be a better healer and more successful in your business than you can even imagine. So we're going to talk about turning your pain into purpose next week. I hope you join me. Thanks so much for being here today. And please subscribe if you're not already subscribed, share, and come back next Tuesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern.